Hi friends, today we are going to discuss another design pattern called sequential convoy pattern. Now, this pattern is related to messaging systems. For example, if let's say you have a messaging system in which your application is producing the data and your consumer is consuming the data, right? And it is consuming the data and it is producing data for multiple customers. C1, it is again either produced for C1, C2, C3, and C1. So what is going to happen is, let's say your data was C1, C2, C1, C2, C3, and C4. And your data is going to be consumed in this order. So, and let's suppose you have consumer group. So consumer group is same code that is running on multiple servers to provide distribution of load among multiple instances. So these two instances of service x1 and x2. So basically this is instance 1 of service x and instance 2 of service x. Right, instance 1 of service x and instance 2 of service x. So these these messages are going to be distributed across these instances. So what can happen is C1, this C1, let's try to consider only single C1, C1. What is going to happen is, let's say first C1 goes to here, first C1 goes to here, and second C1 goes to here for some reason, because it's a messaging system and there's no guarantee. So what is going to happen is this C1 is can be processed first and this C1 can be processed later. It is also possible in your system. So we need some kind of guarantee or some mechanism in which we can maintain the ordering of our messages or ordering of processing of our messages. So in this case, what we do is, rather than having a single message queue, we virtually divide our message queue into multiple categories. C2, C2, and C2. Let's say this is our we have created three categories, and our application is publishing data in this. This is our application, and we have consumers. Let's say we have two consumers only, like before, xi1 and xi2. Now what in this in sequential convoy pattern is, what we do is, we have divided our application into three categories. So this is this can be this can we have divided our data into partitions. Though it you can say partition, you can say category, we can say partitions: partition 1, partition 2, and partition 3, right? You have to ensure that your listening application only reads your single partition goes to a single instance only. So what you can do is, xi1 is going to listen to p1 and p3, and xi2 is going to listen to p2. So all the instances of partition 1 in your messaging system are going to go to a single consuming instance, x1. So in this case, they are going to be read one after the another in a single partition, and that way first this message is going to be consumed, then this message is. Here multiple consumers are not reading from a single partition or single category. Only single consumer is reading from a single category. This way, we are ensuring that ordering in a single partition or ordering in a single category of messages is maintained. Ordering of consumption across the messages, across the partitions cannot be maintained, but ordering in a single partition can be maintained. Now, this sequential convoy pattern, it's a sequential convoy because these can be said as a convoy. These messages are sequential and they are sequentially consumed in a single partition, sort of like a car convoy that moves. They are one after the another and their sequence is important. So you are reading, one consumer can read from one partition can be read from single consumer also, single consumer only. Now, sequential convoy pattern is totally similar to what happens in Kafka. Let's see what happens in Kafka messaging system. So in Kafka messaging system, you have a topic. And in each topic, you have partitions. Let's say there are 3 partitions. Partition 1, this is partition 2, this is partition 3. And when you are creating a topic, basically, you ask the Kafka to create a particular topic. So this topic is created and let's say you have 2 brokers or 2 Kafka servers which are running and you ask them to create a topic. What happens is, and you say that it should have 3 partitions. Then it is going to create 3 partitions and they are going to be divided across multiple servers. So you have partition 1 and partition 3 and partition 2. These are Kafka servers, not consumer servers. You have to keep in mind so that you're not confused. So these are Kafka servers K1, K2. And when you create a partition, they are created like this. And when application is sending the data, application decides in which partition should our data be sent. So when application is sending data for C1, then it is going to this partition C1. And when data is for C2 goes, C2 goes to, let's say, partition C2 goes in partition 2. Partition 2 is present here, C2 and then C1, right? So if you have to redraw it here, redraw it. Now when your application is publishing data for C1, then it goes to Kafka broker 1. These are Kafka broker 2. So it goes to Kafka broker 1, partition 1, C1, and then C2 goes in partition 2, and then C1 again, next payload for C1 again goes here. Now when your consumers, this is consumer, when consumers start subscribing to a Kafka topic, what happens is a particular partition is assigned to a particular consumer. Let's say this topic and this topic, this partition and this partition for Kafka topic was assigned to this consumer and this topic was assigned to this consumer, right? So what is going to happen is there's always going to be a single consumer for a single partition, right? P1 is always going to be consumed by one partition only. It can either be xi1 or it can be xi2, but no two consumers are going to be reading P1 at the same time, right? So all the data in partition P1 is going to be read sequentially by xi1, and for let's assume that after some time what happens, xi1 crashes. Now what is going to happen? These partitions are going to be reassigned to another consumer, right? But at a time only one consumer is going to read this data. There can be other teams which want to read this data. This limitation that only single consumer can read this data is for a single consumer group. Consumer group is type of instances which are doing same work. For example, let's say this is the SMS sending service, and if you want to create email sending service, then you are going to use different set of consumers, and here this partition can be assigned. But in a single consumer group, only one consumer is going to read one partition's data. Across the consumer groups, there can be multiple consumers. So that is sequential convoy pattern. It is a bit different from the messaging patterns that you have seen till now. But all in all, you are partitioning the data, and data in a single partition is sequential, and only one partition is reading, one consumer is reading from one partition. What are the drawbacks of this pattern? There can be multiple drawbacks of this pattern as well as advantages. Since you are for one partition, there can be one consumer only. It is going to create a bottleneck in your system. For example, let's assume for some reason there are very high number of messages in partition 1, whereas there are very low number of messages in partition 3. And this partition 3 was being listened by XI2, and XI1 was listening to this partition, right? So since there is a high influx of messages in partition 1, then there is going to be high resource utilization on XI1, whereas low number of messages in XI2 in partition 3 is going to lead to lower utilization on XI2. Right. Besides that, you cannot scale or you cannot distribute computation on a single partition across multiple instances. If you have to maintain ordering, then you have to ensure that all the messages in a partition are being consumed by a single consumer. So this is a small pattern with a real life use case of Kafka. There are other systems also which use sequential convoy pattern. So you just have to remember that if you want sequential ordering, or if you want ordering of you want consumption of messages in the order in which they were produced, then you have to ensure that you are partitioning your data, and each partition is only read by a single consumer. That is going to ensure that your data is read sequentially by the consumers. So that's all for the sequential pattern, sequential convoy pattern. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know views and comments. Thank you and have a nice day.